So for this project, you're going to need a variegated yarn. This is just a worsted weight acrylic yarn, very widely available. And I like sort of the blues and greens in this. So if you pick a fairly bright, vibrant, variegated yarn for the main color, and you're going to want 2 skeins of that. Then for your 2 other colors, which are going to be sort of your highlight colors, you're going to want something fairly simple and to a certain extent bland. So I went with a sort of light brown and an off-white. So the more vibrant this is, the more calm and neutral you want these 2 to be. And 1 skein of each should be more than enough. Okay, so now we get to start with a magic circle. To do that, there are a lot of different techniques. I'll just show you the way that I've done it in the past, and ultimately I will have another video here showing this a little bit more detailed step by step, so if you're new to this technique and you're having trouble following along, you might want to check out that video too. So to do the magic circle, I'm going to take the variegated yarn, which is going to be the main color we use, or main yarn we use for the body, and I'm going to lay it over my 2 fingers here of my left hand so that I've got a few inches, you can see, coming down. I'm going to wrap it around down and now back up, but instead of going straight up, I'm going to actually crisscross it so that it crosses here. So down, get this out of the way, down and back up, so you have an X here, and bring it down the back. So I have 2 straight here and an X here. Now with this finger, I'm just going to lock it so that I can hold the 2 without them falling all over the place. So I take my hook under the first, grab the second with the hook, pull it through, and there's my loop to begin everything. So first thing I'm going to do, before I try to do any single crochet or anything like that, is tighten this up a little bit here. You can see there's nothing really holding it, so I just am bringing the yarn down a little bit, and I'll do a chain stitch to secure it. So now it kind of holds on its own a little bit. It's still fragile, but it holds on its own. So now for this magic circle, we're going to do 6 single crochet. The chain does not count. So 6 single crochet, where we're going to go over both of these bits of yarn here. We have the tail end and the circle that we made. So we're just going to make sure we go around both of those and do 6 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The number you start with depends on the project that you're doing, and actually later when we do the tentacles, we'll only do 4 to start those. But right now we want 6. So 6 single crochet. Now we get to tighten it. I'm just going to unwind the tail end that was kind of wrapped around a little bit in there. I'm going to grab that and pull, and you notice the loop shrinks, and it brings the first and last stitch together. Now I have not tightened this very much yet. I can tighten it more. The reason being that I'm going to continue my stitches right into this stitch and start the next round. And I find it easier to actually tighten it all the way after I've connected the 2 ends and continue doing the second round. So I tend to just bring it as close together as I can without pulling it super tight. And now we'll go ahead and continue for round 2. So round 2 is going to be an increase, so 2 single crochet in every single one of the stitches. We got 6, means we ultimately want 12. So an increase, that's 2 single crochet in this first stitch, and you notice I didn't join the ends together or anything. I just went from the last stitch in that round right into the first stitch here and continue it in this sort of continuous pattern. So there's no joint ends, no stop and join and then grab new yarn. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Next stitch gets 7 and 8. 2 in every one. Next one gets 9 and 10. last one gets 11 and 12. So now I can pause for a second and tighten up that magic circle as much as it will go. So if I flip it over, here's the tail end coming out of the center of the circle. Holding it securely, I want to pull it hard enough for it to tighten up nicely, and hopefully actually you get this moment where it sort of pops or slips and you get a whole bunch at once. That's really good. It means it's been secured nicely. But you also want to make sure that you don't pull it so hard you tear the yarn, which I have done many times. Let's see if I can get it. Okay, there it just slipped a little bit. I could feel it. So that's supposed to mean that it's all nice and secure, but I never trust them because I have had more than one actually break open on me. So what I recommend you do is to thread this onto a yarn needle and then go in under the stitches once around and tie a knot to secure it. If you can't get through all of them, if you just get through a couple of stitches, secure it around through a couple of them, tie a nice knot and secure it there, you're going to be much better off. So go ahead and do that, and then we will move on to round number 3. Okay, so at the end of the last video I said we got to move on to round number 3, but it's probably a good idea to do round number 2 first, so sorry about that. So we are now going to do round number 2. I tied this off, and I still have a little bit of the dark blue here. That's the tail from the magic circle. I'm going to go ahead and bring this up and now hold it inside my stitches just to weave that in and secure it a little bit better. So that's optional. You don't have to do that. Since this is going to be stuffed, the inside, having the tail there is not going to matter whatsoever. So for this round number 2, we want a total of 16 stitches in the end. And to get that, we're going to do 2 single crochet followed by an increase 4 times around. So 2 single crochet, and here if you notice I'm just going to bring that dark blue over my hook so I can secure that inside the stitch. 1, 2 single crochet. The way I'm holding this tail inside the stitches is the same way we're going to do the tapestry crochet technique later. So if that's new to you, you may want to check it out. So we have 2 there, followed by an increase. So that's stitch 3 and 4. So again, the repeat is going to be 2 single crochet, followed by an increase. So we just did it twice. You need 2 more. So 2, increase, 2, increase, and that'll bring us to the end of this round. So go ahead and finish those 2 repeats and join me for the next bit. Okay, so we are moving on to round number 3 now. You're going to notice a couple of things. First of all, we're only increasing 4 stitches around, which means that it's not going to lie flat. We're actually starting to sort of scoop in. So if you want to, you can go ahead and sort of push from the inside where your magic circle, where you tied that off, and push down, and you'll start getting sort of this pointy cone shape. That's going to be the top of the octopus's head, so that's good. Next up, with this round, we're going to start working back loop only. So the first couple of rounds we did both loops. That's just to tighten this up a little bit more, but from now on, back loop only. So for this repeat, we want in the end 20 stitches total, and we're going to do 3 single crochet followed by an increase, that 4 times around. So at this point, it can help to start marking the end of your rounds so you know when you come around to it again, because there's no real clear line of demarcation as to where a round ends or begins. So that definitely can help. Here, I'm just going to go ahead and count them out, but if you're new to this, use your stitch markers or just a little piece of contrasting color yarn. It really, really can make your life a lot easier. So we're going to start with 3 single crochet, back loop only, 1, 2, 3, And if you look at your work, you're going to notice that the next stitch is the second stitch in an increase from the last round. That's where we want to put our new increase, so that can help you sort of keep track of where you are. So we did 3 single crochet. Now 4 and 5 are going in the same one. So if we're just continuing to count, we're going to have 6, 7, 8 individual guys, and 9 and 10 are going in the same one. So that's the first half of the round. We did 2 repeats. Go ahead and continue this to the end. You want 3 single crochet followed by an increase using the back loop only, which is what we're going to do from now on. So go ahead, finish that out, and I'll see you in time for the next one. Okay, we're on to round 4 now. So for this one, we're going to again continue to work in the back loops only. That's what we do from now on. For this one, we want 24 stitches in the end, and to do that, our repeat is going to be 4 single crochet followed by an increase 4 times around. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochet. Oops, in that one I split the yarn, so let me try that again. 4 single crochet, followed by our next stitch. 5 and 6, they're going to be in this one together as our increase. And if you look, you can probably see it better on your own work, but we're in the second stitch of the increase from the last round. That's where our increase goes this time. So that's stitches 5 and 6 in the same one. So again, 4 individual single crochet, 1, 2, 3, and 4, followed by an increase. So that's 2 times through the repeat. Go ahead and do it another couple of times, and I'll see you on the other side.